Going on a little adventure, doggies. A little adventure off farm. It's a nice cold wintry morning. It's actually it's not New Year's Day, it's the day before New Year's. What do you call the day before New Year's?
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, yes. It's New Year's Eve, and we've decided to take the doggies for a little adventure. The doggies have been stuck on the farm for a long time. We don't usually take them out because they're not that well trained on leads or anything like that. In fact, they're not at all trained on leads. Eddie's like a wild farm dog. As soon as we put him on this lead, he's going to go completely crazy. So we tend to just kind of walk them on the farm. All right, let's go. So we've gone down to the lake at the bottom of our road. And now comes the interesting part. I think I'm going to have to put the camera down so that I can grab a doggy. So Eddie's on a lead now. Wait, calm down. Hopefully he's going to relax in a little bit, but he hasn't been off the farm in ages, so I think he's incredibly excited. Mimo's a lot easier on the lead. She's a lot smaller and not as strong, but Eddie is like super strong. So it's New Year's Eve, and we're about to go into 2025, which is pretty crazy. 2019 in August, September is when Gina and I left the UK and came to Portugal. So it's been over 5 years now. This is crazy. And yeah, we're still loving it here. Oh, I'm being dragged around. Jeez, Eddie's a strong dog. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be people that say, oh, you know, you need to train your dog to walk on the lead and stuff like that. It's quite difficult for us to walk on the leads because if we go out of our farm, every single property around us, every single farm property's got guard dogs. And so you only walk for a couple of 100 meters and then you approach guard dogs, and then obviously Eddie's going crazy because he's trying to protect us. And so we can't really walk them on the leads without taking them somewhere in a car like this. And then of course we've got a big farm that they can walk around on, so it's not exactly 100% necessary, you know. The only time that they're really on a lead is when we take them like to the vets or something like that, and that doesn't happen that often. It's actually amazing. This is usually underwater. If you see the water level there, well, usually this track all the way up to these reeds over here is usually underwater, even at this time of year. So yeah, the water's quite low, but yeah, don't you worry about that. I know oh geez, Eddie, I know that the water's going to pick up. We're probably going to have a very wet sort of end of winter, beginning of spring, and then it'll all balance itself just before the summer. Always does. So Eddie's basically just peeing on absolutely everything he can find. He needs to sort of brace himself, you know. He needs to measure it out. He's going to be here for a little while, you know. You don't want to run out of that good stuff. This lake. Actually, having said that, look, plastic. People have left trash here in the summer. God, that really drives me mad, you know. They come over here and just leave a whole bunch of crap. It's just bizarre. I don't know why people do that. Surely the reason why people have come here to enjoy this space is because it's beautiful and it doesn't have any crap lying around. And then they leave crap lying around. It's beyond me. Look, here's a glass bottle or something just lying there. So tonight is sort of New Year's Eve. We were going to go out with some friends. I'm not actually sure what's happening with that because our friends, their dog has had to go to a dog hospital or something. It's really ill, and so they're not feeling particularly festive. So
I think the dog's still having overnight stays. I think it's been in for like 4 nights already.
Wow, yeah.
4 nights.
And it's had to go to like a proper animal hospital a couple of 100 kilometers away. So I think it's probably quite sick. Where's Eddie going? Eddie, come on, man. Yeah. So I'm not sure if we're going to be going anywhere because obviously Gina doesn't like to stay up that late.
No. I always worry a little bit about the dogs as well because people set off fireworks even here in Portugal. Not as bad as England, but
Our dogs are okay with fireworks.
yeah,
It doesn't bother them really.
But
Like
you
thunder and
wouldn't-
lightning and stuff.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want something to make them scared. So, well, do you know what? It's just an excuse. I just don't like.
I know,
New Year's
exactly.
Eve
I was
and
going to say
being
that's.
late.
I don't know if I want to walk through this. The doggies want to walk through it. Walk through it, doggies. That's right. Get all nice and dirty before you get back in the car. Yeah, it's actually quite amazing how low the water levels are. I mean, where I'm standing now would literally be sort of knee height in water. So from there, all the way up to these green sort of grassy things, and those green grassy things, they're actually a type of plant. I've forgotten what they're called. I used to know the Latin name, but basically they grow wherever there's water all year round. I must say Eddie seems to be quite well behaved today on the lead.
Although you say he's not lead trained, before we had the internal fence, I used to walk him all the time on his lead
Yeah.
around the farm. So once he gets over his excitement, he's not too bad.
Yeah.
He's just
Well,
reactive to the other livestock guardian dog.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we come across some other dogs now, I'm going to have to use both hands to hold on to him, you know.
Well, more than that, because you've got him on that retractable lead.
No, this retractable lead's better for me, I promise.
When I had that retractable lead is Dog's old lead.
Yeah.
And when I took him for a walk once and he saw a rabbit before I saw it and he took off. And then I just went flying after him.
Yeah.
And I took off both feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And I had like skinned both my palms,
No,
my knees.
you had gravel in your hands.
Yeah, for months I had gravel in my hands. And Mesek just didn't understand what he'd done wrong.
No. Yeah.
Like, what?
You were furious.
I was shaking. My hands were just like both hands, the palms from like fingers to palm.
Yeah.
They're just a complete mess.
Yeah. So New Year's, everyone does New Year's resolutions. Do we have any New Year's resolutions, Gina? Are there any resolutions that you want to stick your name on?
No, not really. I've been to, I started going to the gym a couple of months ago, so I just want to keep that maintained.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, not really, because I don't think you ever keep New Year's resolutions.
No, exactly.
It needs to be if you want to do something, do it.
Yeah, I'm one of these believers that as soon as you talk about something, so like for instance, if you got plans that you want to do, as soon as you start to talk about it, you get the dopamine hit of almost having done it, and then your chances of actually doing it are much slimmer, you know, because you're just talking about this thing and everyone's congratulating you about this great idea, but you actually haven't started. So yeah, I like to keep my mouth shut until I'm actually in the process or nearing the finish line, you know, and then I tell people, hey, this is what I've done, you know. And that's a much better way of doing things, but it's quite difficult because sometimes you do have to soundboard your ideas off people, and then when you do that, then you get all excited and it kind of gives you the feeling that you've achieved something when you've actually just been speaking about it. But having said that, I do actually have some exciting, very exciting plans that I'm definitely not going to share because I don't want to, you know, burn out the idea. But yeah, it's been 5 years, and I think every 5 years is a time to sort of reinvent yourself and look at where you're going and what you're doing. And so yeah, it tends to happen to me every 5 years or so. And I think
Ants in his pants.
yeah. But don't worry, I mean, we are still staying in Portugal. We aren't going anywhere. It's none of that. But yeah, we've got some really cool plans. All right, doggies. They are loving this. What's going on, Eddie? What have you smelt? He's probably smelled wild boar or something like that. There's going to be foxes, wild boars, badgers, mongoose, otters, little deer, all sorts of stuff. Other dogs. Yeah, humans. Yeah, this lake is 650 hectares, so pretty big. It's like a man-made lake. It was made in like the 90s. So actually in the middle of this lake there were some villages and stuff that they flooded. And they built the big dam wall at the end there on that side. I think the dam wall is about 1 kilometer long. And I think it's about 25 meters deep. So not particularly deep. But obviously it's quite shallow for most of it. And he's going to go next to Gina and shake himself off. It's actually amazing. When we bought our farm, we didn't even know that this dam existed. And it's only like about 850 meters away. So we had absolutely no idea that it was even here. And it was only on the day after we had sort of signed the promissory contract and decided that we were going to buy the farm. We asked the agent if we could come back and have another look, you know. So he sent, I don't know, someone from the office to go and open up the house for us. And we arrived quite early, and so we sort of drove around a little bit, and then we found that, like, this lake, and just couldn't believe it. So it's been an amazing thing to have so close to the farm for like the summertime. But even at this time of year, look, it's beautiful, you know. It's a nice place where you can walk, and place for the doggies. And obviously in summer it's an amazing place to go swimming. In December we have these blue skies almost every single day and sunshine. When you're in the sun it's not bad. If it's like this and it's all still, then it's not really cold at all. But yeah, as soon as you go into the shade or if there's a little bit of a breeze, then you get that real cold temperature.
Well, as soon as the sun goes down it's freezing.
And there's also snow up on the Serra da Estrela, which is, I mean, it's like probably about a 45-minute drive to Corvilha, and that's like the sort of foot of the Serra da Estrela, and then you go up into the mountains and there's like proper snow up there. So obviously when we get winds and things, come on doggies, out the way, then yeah, it's cold. Was that super important, doggies? That's super important stuff there to sniff. Yeah, doggies need to exercise their nostrils, but they do get a lot of that on our farm. So whenever we take them for a walk, there's been lots of animals and things that have come, so they do get to do that. But obviously this is like a vacation for their nostrils. It's actually not usual to see, oh no, it's not usual to see Mimo in the water, yeah. Yeah, watch, he has to go through the lead every single time. Yeah, little Mimo had, she's been limping, but not when she's walking, only when she gets up. So she's like totally fine, goes for a sleep, and then when she gets up, all of a sudden she's proper limping and like proper hobbling around like one of these sort of Bangkok street dogs, you know. So we thought that maybe she had pulled something and it was going to go away, because we had experience of our you know, dog, and he had like really bad hips, and sometimes he would go for a walk and he'd twist something, and you know, there was no point in taking him to the vets because there's nothing that they could do. It was just like, you know, it's like when you kind of sprain an ankle or something. So yeah, so we waited about 2 weeks and it didn't get better. It actually looked as if it got worse in like the last 2 days, and then we were like, right, okay, we've got to go to the vet. And so yeah, so the vet basically said they did some scans and said that she's got hip dysplasia, which is like, oh no, you know, she's still really young. Dog had hip dysplasia, and he was like, his hips were completely disintegrated. It was just bone on bone with no cartilage. So fortunately she isn't as bad.
No,
like,
you'd have to be quite knowledgeable to even notice it on the x-ray, so it was really early.
Yeah, but she's got like grit from, obviously from the disintegrating bone or whatever, so there's a little bit of grit in there, or there was a little bit of grit, and so when she would sleep, all of that grit would go between the joints, and then obviously she would stand up and it would be painful. But once she's moving around, then obviously all the grit's pushed to the side or something like that, and then she's fine. But she's been good now for the last, I don't know, week or so.
Yeah, we've done anti-inflammatory.
Yeah. This is someone's crab pot. Well, it's not crabs, it's the shrimps, the prawns, the langoustines. Look, you can actually see there's a little claw there, a little blue claw. These are these Louisiana crabs. I think they're these invasive crabs that came from America. Yeah, and they're basically taking over lots of waterways and things all throughout Europe. And I believe they're really tasty. But the only thing, you know, whenever I think of eating stuff like that, they are like the sort of bottom feeders, the bottom of the food chain, and they are basically going through all of the sediment and stuff in the bottom of waterways where all of like the pollution and the heavy metals and poisons and things are. Obviously we are, I mean, it's quite clean here. This water is actually the drinking water for the Castelo Branco city, and obviously before it gets to people's taps, it's going to get treated and cleaned and chlorinated. So this stuff that's sitting in here now potentially has stuff in. You know, we are surrounded by farmlands all around us, and there's no guarantee that some of these people haven't used pesticides or herbicides or things like copper and stuff on their fruit farms that there are many of around here, and then obviously that ends up going into the food chain. So yeah, I believe they're really tasty, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna catch and eat them from here. This way. You're gonna get stuck around a tree, dude. There we go. It's been quite a, I don't know, like a weird end of year. Obviously at this time of year, things like property videos and stuff kind of slow down. We had like a whole bunch of stuff going on with private jobs and then some stuff for the channel. And now obviously with Christmas and New Year's, it all kind of slowed down. And then we had this like really busy section where Joaquin was on the farm and getting the fields ready for the planting. That was in last week's video. And now to start the new year off, I should have a very interesting property. It's actually a friend of mine who's going to be selling it. And he's just preparing it now. So he's just cutting everything back. And I'm quite excited to bring that one to the channel because that's going to be amazing. It's a really, really, really beautiful bit of land with a river and a beautiful house and everything. So yeah. And then there's another one scheduled. So I've got 2 public videos scheduled in. I haven't seen the second house yet, but I think I'm going to be doing that in like the next week or so. And yeah, and I'm slowly going to come out of hibernation as the weather improves, and then we head into the summer and then full steam ahead. Yeah, we should try and take advantage of this now, you know, for walking Eddie and stuff, because in the summertime there's lots of people down here and they're bringing dogs, and their dogs are usually off lead, and it'll just be chaos. You know, if an off lead dog charges at us, it's going to be very difficult to stop Eddie from swallowing it whole.
I don't think you will. I think it's more that he'd want to play.
Oh, yeah.
How the other dog.
Yeah, but he's kind of unsocialized, you know.
But and he also wants to protect Mimosa.
Of course, yeah.
So
Well,
if the dog comes to her, that might be the.
see, Mimo, he doesn't realize that Mimo's been spayed, and so every single day he's sniffing her wee to find out when she's going to be ready, and so he's protecting her because that's his, you know, it's his bitch, it's his asset. So you know, any other male dog is going to be competition for that. Oh, this is so nice, eh? Who would have thought this is the middle of winter?
Yeah.
Eddie, stop pulling me, man. Jeez, I'm trying to film. Chill out, dude.
He wants to just get around the next corner and the next corner.
Yeah. Well, you know, he actually is pretty good. He's a lot better than he has been on the lead. So, I mean, it's been a long time. I mean, we did come down here briefly, like in the summer for one day with them, but he was going completely crazy. But, yeah, he's actually being pretty well behaved. So today I'm not using a external microphone, and we are hitting a bit of wind now, so I'm hoping that the audio is okay, because the built-in audio on this camera it's pretty good until there's a bit of wind, and then you get horrible kind of noises. So hopefully it's not too bad. So Gina's she's got a little holiday planned. Oh wait, don't poo with the lead behind your bum, please. That's a terrible idea. So I'm trying to talk, walk, film. So Gina's got a little holiday planned. She gets to go home and visit her family soon. I was actually hoping to visit my family in Cape Town this January. Like now, I would probably have been there. Yeah, unfortunately it didn't quite work out for various reasons. It might still work out, who knows. I just have to get the finances together.
Yeah.
But Gina gets a holiday.
Well, I got a bit of a tax rebate, so I thought I would use that money to book a holiday for my birthday and go and see my family, because I haven't been back to England for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got some holiday treats some birthday treats planned.
Nice.
Which will be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see some of my old friends.
See, that's the one thing, you know, when you do move to another country like Portugal, it's important to figure out how you're going to go back home and visit friends and family. Obviously, going to South Africa is a long way, so it's much more expensive to do that, much more time consuming, but England's quite easy to get to.
Yeah, with the flights and hiring a car, I think it was like €400 or something.
Yeah, but it's also this time of year, you know,
Yeah.
New Year's, Christmas.
Well, that was really expensive. It was cheaper in January. I think everyone tightens their belt in January, so they make the prices a bit cheaper.
Ah, okay. Cool, look at these birdies. I wonder if these birds are on their way. These are like little ducks or something. Like little quackers. Yeah, I can hear them quack, quack, quack. Wow, look at them go. Huh? I wonder if they are on their migration. I would have thought that their migration would have been finished already, you know, because we are like in the middle of winter. There we go. At least this time he's pooing with the lead in front of him and not behind him. Oh, dude. He's going around every single tree and bush that he can find, wrapping himself up in Mimo's lead. It's like a puzzle walking with these dogs. Look how calm they are now. Yeah, this has been a good walk for them. Has it been nice, my girl? Mimo. Yeah. Yeah. I was talking to my dad the other day, and he was saying that in his life, you know, he's like now, well, he's in his 70s, and he was saying that in his life, every 5 years, kind of since he was an adult, every 5 years or so, he's kind of changed everything up and reinvented his life and reinvented himself and tried out like a new business venture or a new move or something like that. And not that he's doing it purposefully, but actually when he looks back over his life, it's roughly every 5 years that sort of new change happens. And so if I look at my life, it's been 5 years since we made this move and came here. and then, as I said earlier, we've got some really cool things ahead, and it's kind of weird when I look at that. It is almost like every 5 years. And then I think, well, it wasn't 5 years, it was 7 years before that we bought the Connaught Cottages in England, and changed our life from, living, that was quite rural.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there is like a cycle, like
I
every,
think it's probably like 10 years for us.
yeah, I mean, yeah, well, I'm not sure.
7 to 10 years. I don't think it's 5 years.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys watching there at home, if you have a similar thing where you also notice that. I'm not sure, but if that is something that you notice, then maybe you should try and take advantage of it. Like if you are looking to make a change or a move, then maybe it fits in with your 5-year cycle. This looks like the African bushveld. It's amazing how similar some parts look to Africa, or South Africa at least. I just love this. Oh.
Is that the two wildebeest walking through the plains of Africa?
Yeah. It's funny to think that the most dangerous creatures out here right now are me and Gina, and then the dogs.
Oh, I don't know, centipedes.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying we are like apex predators, Apex predators. I mean, if you like, we eat everything almost.
I don't eat everything.
Yeah. Eddie's looking for stuff to eat. You're going to eat some stuff. Don't go through there, Eddie. Yeah, so I wanted to get to South Africa because I haven't been now in about 8 years. I'm quite bad at going back to South Africa, really. I must say, whenever I go back, as much as I love South Africa, whenever I go back, it's kind of sad for me because I go back sort of like once every 5 to 10 years. There's huge changes whenever I go back, and unfortunately the majority of those changes haven't been very positive. Like, when I left, there was like no pollution and no trash lying around, and now I go back and there's trash lying around everywhere, and just things like that. Or places that I used to love as a kid and used to cycle there and go on my own. And when you go there and you're with friends, and I'm like, hey, let's go to this place. And they're like, are you crazy? You'll get like robbed and murdered, So it's a bit sad, really. But yeah, I mean, don't let that put you off South Africa. I mean, it is a stunning place, but yeah, it cost me a lot of money to go there. Obviously, I have to go there and, do friends and family and stuff. And sometimes that's not really a holiday, It's not like when you sort of book a ticket somewhere and you stay in a hotel and you can just do whatever you want, whenever you want. So, yeah. But I'm going to still see if I can make that happen. My sister is currently there. She lives in the States, and now she's there for a while. And so I've got a couple of months to get over there, and then I can spend time with her and my parents and everyone all at the same time, which will actually be really cool. I'm not sure the last time that happened. I think that was about 10 years ago that we were all together. Gina, look on the screen. We are shadows of our former selves.
Yeah.
Shadows, mere shadows. So I've been trying to think of like all the stuff that's changed in the last 5 years. Sure. I mean, our entire lives are completely different from what they were when we first arrived, into this uncertainty of, quitting our job, selling our house, not knowing the country that we're going to, not knowing the language, not knowing anything really, if it would work out, not really knowing the local laws, and to now where we are. And, our farm is our home. That's like, a place is home when you go on holiday somewhere and you start yearning for your pillow and your bed and your bedroom. That's what home is, And yeah, and this place has become our home now. It's actually so strange, like when you ride around in cities and things, like if I was to go back to England now, and I haven't been back there in 5 years, everything would look completely strange and foreign to me. But obviously when you live there, it looks normal, all of the cars and the buildings and everything. And that's how Portugal used to look to me. It used to look really foreign and strange. And obviously now it just looks completely normal. Where are you going, Eddie? Is it that much of an emergency to sniff that? I think that's one of the big strengths about humans, is we're very adaptable. We can adapt to so many different things and so many different circumstances and situations. And we kind of get used to things and we get comfortable with things. Oh no, don't do that, don't do that. And you got the lead in the water, well done. And now you've walked over it. I'm trying to film and keep this dog on the straight and narrow. He's just wet your leg now with the wet lead. Right. Can you help me get that? Can you put it underneath him and then go around in a circle? Because I only have one hand here. I'm holding onto this camera. Thanks. Yeah, I think that's like humans' greatest strength, is that we're super adaptable, and you know, no matter what situation you put humans in, we always find a way to get through to the other side. I mean, there's even people, you know, living all year round in bloody Antarctica in different stations and things like that. We've climbed to the highest peaks. We've gone down to the bottom of the ocean trenches. And Eddie, I think Eddie's aware that his walk's coming to an end and that we're going backwards now. So he's intensely trying to like enjoy every last little sniff he gets. So yeah, if you are like, you know, watching these videos and dreaming of moving to another country like Portugal and starting a whole new life, just remember that you are this resilient being that is really good with change. A lot of people don't think that they are. You know, Gina is always like, oh, I hate change. As much as we hate change, it's one of these necessary forces. It's like a spring clean. I was not expecting the water to be this low. I didn't think we would get any of these paths or anything. Yeah, amazing. Not so amazing for obviously like irrigation for next year's summer, but I'm pretty sure it's going to catch up, you know. We usually have like really wet Aprils and stuff, and you know, it rains for like the whole month, and then I think this is all going to fill up. You can see the water level on these tree trunks here, so where all those weeds are, that's probably about 100 centimeters, about a meter, 1.2 meters up from the base, and then obviously to the bottom of this tree here, so this would all be full.
Sniff book.
Oh.
They're reading their daily newspaper.
Her NIF number.
That's what they do around the farms. They read the daily newspaper.
Oh, but that's like the local news, not the international news.
This is the international newspaper.
Yeah.
Newspaper.
I've actually just had a bead of sweat come down my ear here. It's actually getting hot. Amazing. But yeah, January is going to be like the coldest month. So although it's been nice and sunny here for December, next month, January, is going to get, we're going to have like a cloud. It's going to get dark, it's going to get cold, and it's going to go below zero every single night, and possibly like stormy, horrible weather. So yeah, it's been fun while it lasted. And also it's so short. I mean, you know, we're going to have like a month of really bad, a month or maybe two, so let's say like 8 weeks, maybe 8 weeks of really cold weather, and then it's going to start to pick up, and everything is going to go green, and everything's going to look absolutely stunning all around us. All the little flowers are going to come out, and it'll be my favorite time of year, with all the flowers on the farm and everything looking absolutely incredible. I cannot wait. I can't wait. Now Eddie's basically finding every single little animal trail. You can see underneath the fence lines here, so his nose is just locked onto all of that. All these little lines going through the grass here where little animals are using these little paths. Come on Eddie, this way. Not sure why, but he's desperate to tangle with whatever animals these are, you know. I mean, Eddie, imagine how exciting it would be to take down a wild buffalo or a rhinoceros. Yeah, I mean, jokes aside, the only sort of dangerous animal that you're going to get out here is going to be the wild boar, and those things have amazing sight, and well, actually I don't think they have amazing sight, but they've got very good sense of smell, very good hearing, so they can sense you a mile away, and your chances of spotting them are quite slim. Every now and then you obviously do spot them. If you do spot them, then don't go anywhere close to them. They can tear your dog to pieces, you know. They are very very strong and very dangerous, and they're quite armor plated as well. So yeah, I mean, that's about the only sort of animal that you really have to look out for. And the only time that you'll really ever get an encounter where they might attack you is if they've got like little babies, if they've got like little piglets. Is that what they're going to be called for boars? Yeah, it's going to be piglets. So if they've got like little piglets and it's a mother or whatever, then obviously don't go anywhere near them. And then apart from that, all of the stuff is quite small. There's an Iberian lynx. In fact, there's actually one that was spotted in Castelo Branco recently, an Iberian lynx. In Lorodosa, yeah, which is like literally just on the other side of the lake there. And then there's some wolves, but I'm not sure where those are. I think they might be in the Serra da Estrelas or up in the north. And then there used to be bears. I think there might be very few up in the north, up in the mountains in the north. But I think they're trying to reintroduce like the wolves and the bears and the lynx and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, you'd be very lucky if you spotted any of those. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what this video was going to be about. I actually just wanted to grab a camera and just wish everyone sort of Happy New Year's and just tell them that we're all alive and kicking and we're in hibernation mode and just doing the regular stuff like walking the doggies and keeping warm and eating good food. And I still have no idea what this video is going to be like until I stick it on the computer and kind of piece all of the little clips together. So hopefully it's been alright, and hopefully you've enjoyed this little dog walk, you know. Imagine how much it's going to have to rain to bring these water levels up. We are in for some very wet, cold, windy days and nights until spring, that's for sure. I'm not sure if you can hear it. If I stop that clicking noise, those are the storks. I think it's called the great white stork. Are they called the great white stork or the great black stork or something? Or it's called the great something stork. But yeah, they are a protected species, and you probably can't see them now, but they're like in the distance there. They're like on a little pole, and that's like a breeding pair. I don't have a camera that's got a powerful enough lens to look at that. I've just got this little one with me here with a wide angle. But yeah, they make a funny noise, all that clicking. And that's it, Eddie. It's the end of your walk. All right, get you in the back of our incredibly filthy car. You can add some more mud. Good doggies. Oh. And there you have it. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year!
I'm not sure when this video is coming out or when you're going to see it or what the story is, but yeah, here's wishing everyone an awesome 2025.
I was going to say, whenever it comes out, it'll be next year.
Yeah, yeah. And we are hoping for an absolutely amazing 2025 as well. And let's see what happens. All the best, everyone.
Bye!
Ciao.